Bob Nightengale here says the Yankees and Padres trade talks are at a complete stalemate, with the Yankees saying the Padres' request of 7 players for all-star outfielder Juan Soto is unrealistic. Here is what the Padres are asking for, according to Bob Nightengale. Michael King, Clark Schmidt, Drew Thorpe, Randy Vasquez, Johnny Brito, 2 prospects, and the Yankees are taking on Soto and Trent Grisham. And Grish has 2 years in control. It's a cheap contract for the Yankees, even for the Padres. It's like $5 million. Not a whole lot. Sure, not great offensively from Grish, but he could benefit from hitting in Yankee Stadium. But yeah, of course, this is going to be a no from the New York Yankees. I'm thinking like hypothetical trades that I've been throwing around, King or Schmidt, add on Thorpe, add on an outfielder like Everson Pereira, which isn't being mentioned here, or Oswaldo Cabrera, someone like that. But the Padres are going pitching heavy. I was even throwing out maybe Kyle Higashioka, backup catcher that he can be to Luis Camposano, not making a ton of money. It's a guy that can play every day if you need him to, if an injury comes up. He's caught big pitchers in the past, like Garrett Cole, so he has that experience. But the Padres are going pitching heavy, and yeah, that's a lot. King and Schmidt, the Yankees are going to say no on that. I think it's pick one, and the Yankees want to give you Clark Schmidt, but that means that you need to ask for Michael King. Drew Thorpe, they don't want to give you. You got to keep asking for that because it's Juan Soto, 1 year of Juan Soto. And if King and Thorpe, let's say that's 2 big pieces they get. They don't get a ton more, but they get King and Thorpe. I think that's pretty good for the Padres. You get a big league starter, and if it doesn't work out, he can be in the bullpen. A guy who had a sub-3 ERA this past year. And you get Drew Thorpe, who can be a top of the rotation guy here in a couple years for your Padres rotation. And you're giving Grish to the Yankees, who is a bottom of the order guy, just hasn't shown it enough offensively, and Juan Soto, who, yeah, really good offensively, an amazing talent, but you're not going to bring him back long term. So you need pitching. You would get pitching here. Now, I'm not saying it's you just ask for King and Thorpe and that's it. No, you get more than that. But yeah, of course, asking for 7 players for Juan Soto and Trent Grisham, 7 for 2, yeah, that's too much. But it's a negotiation. And I think it's a weird spot here. Both fan bases, I think, are a little irritated with this. The Yankees are irritated because you're like, no. The Yankees are like, no, we're not. Yankees fans, we're not giving you 7 guys for 1 year of Soto and then Trent Grisham. And then Padres fans are like, no, why is Jason Dominguez not in this? Why is Spencer Jones not in this? Why is it unrealistic? It's Juan Soto that we're giving you. So it's interesting. You know, both fans, sometimes in these trades, right, it's lopsided, the offer. The one fan base is like, yeah, that's a lot. Cool. That's good. But then there's another, and the other side is like, no, that's way too much. Here, one side, way too much. The other, I think most Padre fans would realize, yeah, this is too much. But I think some are like, no, we need to go big here. Maybe not quantity, but quality over quantity. And the quality needs to include someone like Jason Dominguez. But I'm here to tell you again, it's unrealistic. We can keep asking for it, but there's a reason why Jason Dominguez is not even, his name hasn't even showed up in these trade talks because it's not going to happen. Spencer Jones, I think there's a better shot of that happening. But I think the Padres, they want the pitching from the Yankees. And they can, if they want, lower level prospects. This is where the 3-team trade thing comes in. They can flip some of the younger guys to a team like the Brewers for someone like Corbin Burns, or flip them to a team like the Rays for Glasnow, or the Guardians for Bieber, or the White Sox for Cease. It would have to be more, and the Padres can include some of their prospects, but that's just something that I'm thinking about here. But it's a negotiation. Of course, the Padres are going to shoot for the moon. I'm sure they asked about Jason Dominguez, and the Yankees said no. I'm sure they asked about Spencer Jones, and the Yankees said no. Everson Pereira not being included in this is surprising, but I'm thinking like the Padres have a plan here. They're going pitching heavy with the Yankees because they like what the pitching that the Yankees have, and then they can go trade for an outfielder somewhere else. Or you use some of the Soto money, you go get someone like Jung-Hoo Lee, and then you get an outfielder on a 1-year deal, and you can do it that way. if you have to trade Grish and Soto. So, yeah, I don't. The Padres obviously have a plan if they're not going to bring outfielders back here in this deal. I'm just surprised that they wouldn't because that is a lot of pitching to be asking for. But you do have Juan Soto, and it is still early in the offseason. It's not, there's still a couple months here before 2.5 months before, pitchers and catchers report for spring training. So there's time, but the winter meetings obviously are a big time of the year, the biggest week of the year. So I'm hoping that the two sides here, if it is going to be the Yankees and Padres, I'm hoping that the two sides can get a little bit closer to one another, make progress, meet in person. Don't be texting, meet in person. You're in the same dang building in Nashville. Okay. Same hotel. Go meet in person, hammer out, maybe not hammer out the entire thing because I get it. Like both sides are going to want to have leverage, try to have leverage. The Blue Jays are entering it. Like Hector Gomez was tweeting, oh, Blue Jays are front runners. I don't see the Blue Jays getting a deal done here. Maybe a 3-team deal. They do have their number one prospect, Ricky Tiedemann, who they could offer, but are they willing to give that up for 1 year of Soto? Is Soto interested in signing with the Blue Jays long term? I'm not so sure about that. So I feel like the Yankees, they're in the best spot here to get Juan Soto. Maybe a third team's going to have to be included, but this is a negotiation. So don't take this tweet from Nightengale about all that the Padres are asking for here. King, Schmidt, Thorpe, Vasquez, Brito, 2 prospects. Don't take that as like discouraging, like, oh no, AJ's asking for too much. A deal's not going to get done. You see the talks, complete stalemate. That can happen because it's a negotiation. One side tries to get as much as possible for the least amount of return, and the other side is trying to get the most that they can back, giving up something that they don't want to trade. The Padres don't want to trade Juan Soto. I want to say that and make that clear again. They don't want to trade Juan Soto. I think it's ownership that is making them saying, no, we're not waiting till the midseason. I think Nightengale wrote something about that in his notebook today. We're not waiting. We got to, let's trade him. Let's maximize the value. We need to get this salary off the books. We need more of a complete roster. They're not idiots. Like AJ's not an idiot. I know some people don't want him to be the leader and they think that he's had too many chances and all that. Like I understand that, but he's not an idiot. He wants Juan Soto on the baseball team. He's one of the best offensive players on the planet. He's in a walk year. He's going to have a huge season, assuming that he can be healthy. He played 162 games this past season, every single one of them. Over 900 OPS, and that was considered a little bit of a disappointing season. You want Soto, but this is just the position that the Padres have put themselves in, so you can't change what happened. You got to try to make the best of the situation that you're in. And the Padres, what they're trying to do is get as much as they can from the Yankees, get as much pitching as they can, and then I assume that they have a plan to bring in some outfielders after that.